private IP address. So private IP addresses is like the IP addresses where we are going to use within the LAN. Okay, so let's take an example. You have one organization here. So it was connected like this, and there are some users. Okay, so just give some name here. So this organization belongs to XYZ, and here there are some users with the IP address of all are 192.168.192.168.1.network. So each and every user has been assigned with the IP address of 192.168.1.1, 1.2, 1.3 and 1.4. And again, if you take one more organization here and it is connected to your network. Okay, so here there are some users. So just give the name for this organization is an ABC. Okay, so here now here also the LAN users, they are using the IP address of 192.168.1.subnet. okay, 192.168.1.1, 1.2, 1.3 and 1.4. So if these users was trying to access the internet, okay, let's assume that these two are different organizations who is trying to access the internet. So what it is going to happen? So these are the private users, right? So these addresses belongs to the category of private category. So whenever a user is trying to communicate with internet, okay, so by using this private IPs, and also we call these IPs as a unregistered IP addresses. So these users are not able to communicate with internet because here XYZ organization, in this organization there are some users using the IP address of 192.168.1.1, and in this ABC organization presented somewhere, and here also they are using the IP address of 192.168.1.1. So now let's assume that even though if you are trying to access the internet by using this unregistered public IPs, so your request reaches to your internet. So now the problem is whenever your internet is trying to respond, either it is going to send to the user 1.1 presented on XYZ organization or ABC organization this 1.1 user. So to whom it is going to get respond, which means simply the communication is not going to happen, right? So this is what we are going to see now, how the differentiation is going to happen in between private IPs and public IP addresses. So let's talk about here private and public IPs. So private IPs are going to use within the organization or within the LAN, and these addresses are not recognized on internet, and it is in a free of cost because it's an unregistered IP addresses, no need to pay for anyone. These addresses was assigned by your administrator. So coming to the public IPs, so where the addresses we need to pay to service provider. So every month we are going to pay the bill, right? So for this public IP we are going to pay it, and these addresses has been provided by your INA or service provider. INA stands for Internet Assigned Number Authority, and these addresses are globally unique addresses. So if I want to communicate with internet, compulsory we need to have one registered public IP address, then only we can able to communicate with the internet. So this is the difference between private IPs and public IP ranges. Okay, so coming to the ranges of each and every class, they have given the range of private category because public IPs are a lot of addresses we cannot memorize. So that's the reason they have given private range in each and every class. So in A class we have the address starts with 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. So whichever the address starts with 10, this address comes under the category of private category. And in B class, the address range starts with 172.16.0.02, 172.31.255.255. So which means 172.16, 17, 18, 19, 20 up to 31. So these all addresses will comes under the range of private category. So apart from this, if you see any of the address, let's take an example 172.32. some x.x, or if you see any address 172.15.x.x, so this all addresses comes under the range of public category. Okay, and coming to the C class, so the address range starts from 192.168.0.02, 192.168.255.255. so the address whichever starts with 192.168 comes under the range of private category. Apart from this, all addresses will comes under the public category. So because public IPs are very huge addresses, a very large address space where we cannot able to identify them, so that's the reason they have given the private range in each and every class. So you have to remember this whenever you are trying to understand the categorization of private and public categories. So within these range addresses only comes under this private range, so remaining all comes under the range of public category. So coming to the INA stands for Internet Assigned Number Authority, where it is going to be responsible to distribute the private addresses whatever we have. Okay, so it was divided into 5 regions. So Asia Pacific region, Africa region, and Canada, USA, some other regions, and Latin America region. So it was divided into some 5 categories, and they have distributed each and every region with some public IP addresses. So if you want to know more about these things, always you can visit the website ina.org/numbers. So INA is responsible for dividing this public IP addresses to different regions. And here these are some of the links in order to know about more details how it was divided into 5 regions. Always you can visit these websites with these links, so that you can able to get to know how it was divided into this 5 different regions.